I think I prefer the wild planets to this city.
Well,
At
finally,
least
we're
there,
here. Can
the
sell.
predators are easier to
Got
spot.
anything you need to offload? Trade Authority is always by. Kiosk
Alright.
right here for you.
I sold a few things to him, but not enough to clear me out. So I have to go to the Trade Authority, the main one. So, little cut here. Alright, I finally sold everything I needed to sell, and so now I think I'm good. So, let's see. First, I just need to clear basically every single condition I have. I have hypothermia, I have frostbite, I have contagions. Attack uses O2. Taking health damage expands O2. Damn. Everything expands. Use that. Get rid of that. Bandages, get rid of that. And then that. Boom, we good. Alright. Fuck. I forgot. She's still full. I need to get rid of all her stuff. Damn it. Alright, now I'm done actually selling everything. God damn, that took a lot more time after, yeah, trying to... Alright, we're here. So we gotta go down here. Ooh. Let's talk to this guy and see if he's the one behind all this. Hello. Imagine he's like, you found out my evil plan. Okay, unleashing all the terramorphs on this area.
Authorized personnel only. Your friend has to see you.
Fuck you. Go bam bam bam. Bam 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 bam. Ve Victus.
Well, what a pleasant surprise. When I heard you and Hadrian were headed for Londinian of all places, I presumed you must be onto something big. Did you find what you were looking for?
Oh, we did, and a whole... I don't know. Is there anything you want to tell me about your time on Londinian?
I haven't been to Londinian in many years. Why? Is there some way I could be of assistance? Were you able to recover what you were looking for?
Oh, we did, and a whole lot more.
Good news, then. So, what exactly are you doing here? Plenty still to be done in defeating the Terramorphs, no?
Of you discussing the use of terramorphs. I know you're involved in attacking Two City. Please stop. You murdered UC. We found a recording of you discussing the use of terramorphs as a weapon.
Did you? Well, I don't know what you think you heard on this recording, but I sincerely hope you didn't come to the wrong conclusions. After all, given the Cabinet's current state of anxiety, they might misinterpret such a discovery to mean I could have been involved with the attacks. Perhaps I can convince you to keep this among us.
I can hear in your voice. You're afraid because you know you've been discovered.
You want to hear the words, then? I did it. The Terramorph attacks on Tau City, New Atlantis, my doing. Years of coordination between my associate and I. Figuring out how to deploy the Lazarus plant's pollen outside of Londinian. Learning to synthesize it. Use it as a weapon. Now, being as clever as you are, I'm sure you have thoughts on why I might do such a thing.
It's obvious you're angry about what the UC did for you. This is petty revenge, nothing more. Associate? Yeah, I guess, because he don't want to spend the rest of his life here. He'd rather be free, but obviously they're never gonna let him be free. Not even give him a new identity. They could at least do that.
Oh, my revenge was risk information that dangerous falling into the wrong hands. So I ordered the bombing of the Londinian spaceport, fixing two problems at once. Halting the spread of the city's terramorph outbreak, and sealing away knowledge of the plant's potential.
Please, no secret so dangerous you can justify condemning so many lives. You just said it took you years to use the plant outside. You killed them for nothing. The information should have been handed over secured to keep it from being used. You didn't even trust your own people in the UC?
These were the final days of the colony war, Captain. The Freestar Collective had spies everywhere. I was concerned that if word got out, the Collective could swoop down, start breeding Lazarus plants, and overrun our worlds with waves of terramorphs. Just like what was happening on Londinian at that very moment. Sealing off the city to prevent mass death, it was the only option that made sense at the time.
Maybe it's better if few people knew. So it took you years to use the plant outside Londinian. You killed them for nothing. Nah, I don't. I would go with the top one. He killed an entire city just to keep that information.
Easy to say now, but in that moment, I wasn't about to add another dangerous variable to an already catastrophic war. But then, as the war ended, my trial, my execution, I made a decision. After all, I'd given everything for the colonies. My life as I knew it included. And what did I get in return? Was there any effort by the UC to protect my legacy? My daughter's legacy? No. We were sacrificed when all we did was serve. So I kept what I'd learned and arranged the attacks to set things right again. My daughter, she becomes a hero. I become a trusted advisor, having found Kaiser, the research team, and cement my new position of influence when I hand them the name of the person responsible for the attack on New Atlantis. The dear departed Dr. Reginald Orlays, the associate who aided me all these years, and whom I always slated to take the fall. What luck he was stopped dead before he could hurt anyone else. His decades on the run brought to an end by another unlikely hero. You.
Oh, so that was the warlock he was talking about. He was working with him, and unfortunately I couldn't take him alive. Or Lee's. So I'm your cleanup crew. Or Lee's. Why does that name sound so familiar?
Can't remember the many lives you've taken. Orlays was the man whose death you brought about around the moon of Etheria. The pilot of the Warlock. The man I had to eliminate. To hide my secret.
How could you have coordinated all this from in here?
It wasn't easy. But the beauty of being loathed is that people will do whatever they can not to deal with you. They wanted to pretend I didn't exist. And so I used their blind eye to my advantage. Still, establishing a back channel to Orlays via the UC recovery teams was painstaking work. I've led campaigns less nerve-wracking. They believed they were luring in wanted criminals, but were in fact delivering precisely encoded slates, filled with instructions invisible to any but their recipient, dropped off at just the right moments to fall into the proper hands. All without the UC realizing whom you're actually dealing with. Slow work. But as you can see, ultimately effective.
I see. Why the hell do you care if the UC wants you as an advisor?
Why would I want to be in the good graces of the people who control my very life? I don't know, Captain. Maybe I still dream of a life outside these walls someday. A new face would be needed, of course, but it wasn't an impossibility. Though now, I'm not so sure.
So I'm just your... You think you're very clever? So I'm just your... against your honor. You're sick.
There are no heroes without a villain. I simply arranged the opportunity for us to overcome one and become the other. And we all benefited. It's why I had Orlays reprogram Kaiser. Had that old machine guide you to where I found the plant all those years ago. I went to great lengths to ensure your and Hadrian's success. And look at the results. I know for a fact the Cabinet's planning to honor both you and Hadrian once this is all done. Isn't that preferable to languishing away in obscurity? Running jobs on the tail end of nowhere for the Vanguard? With only the vague hopes of perhaps earning the right to buy a home in the well someday.
In the well. Yeah, the well is a pretty shithole. What kind of honor are we talking about? I suppose there has been some. If you're waiting for me to say thank you, we're gonna be your... They'd be honoring me for cleaning up your messes. I suppose there have been some benefits to all this.
Precisely. And let's not forget the importance of our actual endgame. Eliminating the Terramorphs. Securing knowledge of the Lazarus plant. What we've set in motion is going to protect thousands, maybe millions of lives. I'm simply requesting one more life be protected. Mine. I've already sent along the evidence of Orlays' role in the attacks to the Cabinet, leaving out my own involvement. All I ask is that you confirm as much to the Cabinet. Tell them that it was Orlays and Orlays alone. After all, I do still have a long list of threats to the UC. This needn't be the end of our good works together.
Long list of threats? Oh, okay, I was like, was he threatening the UC? But no, he's talking about taking care of others that might potentially attack the UC. What kind of work are we talking
Hunting
about?
down criminals and other threats to the United Colonies. I expect they'll give me a bit more free range once this is all over. You would help me, like you did with Orlays. Track them down, and keep them from doing harm to the United Colonies. Impossible, though, if the Cabinet learns I'm the one responsible for the attacks.
You think I'm just... The fact that you killed people to accomplish... You think I'm just gonna forget the fact that you killed... You know, I'm not sure what I'm gonna tell the Cabinet. Because once I tell the Cabinet, it'll probably be your last.
And how many have you killed to get where you are now? There are no great works that don't cost lives, Captain. Whether it's winning a war, or digging a tram tunnel. So we sacrificed a few dozen in the attacks to possibly protect millions. That seems like a fair exchange to me. I only hope you'll see the same, and leave my name out of the discussions to come.
Fine. I'll make sure to pull everything as planned in Orleans. Yeah, it does seem good. I mean, yeah, he's evil, but I mean, if he chooses not to do evil anymore, it's like, I think he already kind of repented. Like, I forget how many years he's been in here, but I would imagine 20, 30 years in here is enough time. Like, they don't even give him at least a normal prison sentence where he's able to move around an entire facility. He just has a small building that he has to walk around day in, day out. I don't even know if he has television, because it doesn't seem like much.
Biding your
So
time, then.
so I would imagine, like, yeah, he deserves some freedom. So we'll pin on Orleans, because that was my mistake. I should have brought him in alive.
Splendid. Then I won't keep you. You've got important work, after all. Here's to a bright future.
Speak to Pigeon. Let's see, does he have a television or anything? Okay, I'm guessing one of those is a bedroom. Oh. I'm guessing this is his office where he probably still does, like, science experiments. Damn, this jetpack's actually pretty good. That's his kitchen up there. Yeah, that's his bedroom. Yeah, we'll see how this choice goes. I'm not entirely sure myself on how this is gonna go, but we'll see. Speak to Hadrian. Where is she? I'm guessing she's gonna be in the mass area. Over here. There we go. There's Hadrian.
Perfect timing. We just got in. So on our end, good news. The microbe and the Asylees are both as effective against heat leeches as they are against terramorphs.
Means either plan should work for clearing those critters off our worlds.
Considering what the Lazarus plant is capable of, I don't think we can deal with those things fast enough. I already sent along info to the cabinet to get them up to speed. So what about your end? Did you find anything? Did my father tell you what he knew about the Lazarus plant?
It was a man named Reginald. He perpetrated the attacks. Yeah. Dr. Reginald Orlees perpetrated the attacks.
Orleys? Reginald Orleys? He did this? I didn't think he was still alive. You're sure it was him?
Positive. What, you don't believe me? You knew Orlees?
Oh yeah. Both worked for UC Defense Research way back when. Different departments, but everyone knew Orleys. Had a mean eye for weapons tech. And a meaner temper. Wasn't exactly a surprise when he fled instead of standing trial after the colony war. But finding out he's taken up mass murder in the years since, that is a shock. You're sure about this?
Positive. The evidence is on its way to the cabinet as we speak.
If he is responsible, let us hope the cabinet deals with it swiftly and harshly.
That's some
Thank
impressive
God
work.
she wasn't in there.
So then give us the rundown. Where's Orleys now? Were you able to bring him in?
Orleys is dead. Things went badly. Was on a mission to bring him. I killed him. Didn't realize what he'd done at the time.
Huh, I see. Wish we could have questioned him. But, well, there's nothing we can do at this point. Any idea why he might have done it? Or what he was doing with the plant?
He found the plant while searching Lydian for weapon data and chose to use it. He thought he was doing the right thing, making sure no one could ignore the Lazarus plant. Chose to use it against the UC.
Aha! That makes sense. Plenty of abandoned tech for an old warmonger to pilfer there. Instead, he stumbles on the plant and finds the perfect way of getting back at the UC for trying to put him on trial.
Decides to use the plant against the people that destroyed his old life. I can see that. Well, at least he won't be
I
able to
feel
hurt
like she
anybody
knows
else
something's
now.
up.
Might be the best we could ask for, given the circumstances. So I guess there's nothing else to do but get this all in front of the cabinet. Unless there were other things we needed to discuss. This might be our last opportunity to talk things through before the cabinet weighs in on a decision regarding the terramorphs.
Nothing else on my end. Let's head there. What kind of risk are there if we decide to bring back the Asylees?
Asylees aren't hostile to humans, but they are megafauna. If someone decides to pick a fight with one, it could get ugly. But they've already been spread far and wide once before when the UC was raising them as livestock, so the risk of introducing them to new worlds is minimal. Using them to clean up the terramorphs and leeches, though, it's not going to be nearly as expedient as the microbe would be. Given what we know now about the Lazarus plant, the speed of the job does matter. But going with the Asylees, we're at least dealing with known risks.
So both approaches of clearing out are effective against heat leeches?
They are.
Microbe needed minimal adjustment to account for heat leech anatomy.
And the Asylees seem like they're even better at tracking leeches than morphs.
Hell of a sight to watch, though, when they catch them. Like an open airlock guzzling angry spaghetti.
Oh my god, they were watching them kill them. I mean, the heat leeches are little bastard snakes, but still watching it be eaten.
Microbe is gonna make the cleanup a whole lot quicker. If we're concerned about this Lazarus plant getting deployed again, that's the way to go.
The cabinet can secure the Lazarus plant, and then we're not risking any surprises when it comes to dealing with a microbe.
You're being paranoid. You know the science. You know we can make this safe.
I do know the science. I also know math, and a 1 in a million chance of a mutation isn't 0. So I guess we're still in discussion. Probably best at this point to let the cabinet weigh in, see if they have a preference.
Alright, well, let's go in. Hopefully this doesn't go terribly wrong.
And here we go.
I expected a big battle at the end of this. Like, either what's his name is going to attack Levictus, or something else is gonna happen, because this just can't end on like a little meeting. This has to be like a big thing or a big battle that has to end the storyline. Gonna save it though, just in case, because there's gonna be a big decision here at the very least. Because I basically already chose to help Victus, but I don't know if they're gonna need help with something else.
Welcome back, all of you. I wish we were meeting under better circumstances. But according to Hadrian's report, and the second one I just received, it seems the Terramorph attack on New Atlantis was no random occurrence, but a planned strike. Is what I'm reading here true?
That's correct, ma'am. It was a deliberate attack. Is that second report from who I think it's from?
This report comes from a particularly confidential source both you and I are familiar with, yes. Among the reasons its findings are so alarming. Now, is it true? Was the attack on New Atlantis planned?
Yes, that's correct. It was a deliberate attack.
My God.
An attack? Using terramorphs? How is that possible?
You will all receive a full briefing once we're done here. So then, is what the second report claims correct? Did Reginald Orlays commit these attacks, Captain?
The report. Orlays helped, but Victus organized the attack. Yes, it was Orlays. Adrian, I think you should tell them. I'm sorry, I need a moment to verify. Yes, it was Orlays.
That appears to be the case, ma'am. The captain tracked that information down just after our trip to Londinian.
Reginald Orlays? Wasn't there a report he'd been killed recently?
Body was found floating around Etheria. Report mentioned you were sent to try and bring him in, Captain. I guess that didn't go according to plan.
Ah, yes. I was told about your mission and who ordered it. Did you two suspect at the time Orlays might have been involved in the attacks?
No idea. We thought we were dealing with a known criminal. I was surprised as you. What are you suggesting?
Only that it would have been preferable if you'd managed to find him before he murdered UC citizens. Now, are you going to answer the question for me or not? Did you already suspect Orlays?
No, ma'am. We just thought we were dealing with a known criminal.
Well, it appears you were ahead of the curve. This report contains definitive evidence Orlays triggered the attacks via this Lazarus plant the Captain and Major Sanan uncovered.
Simply harrowing.
Indeed. Though it would have been preferable for him to have finally faced the UC's justice, it seems both of you are to be commended for ensuring he was dealt with before he could strike again. You have our thanks. Now, with our villain unmasked, we can attend to the other matters at hand. With the threads you've brought together here, the Lazarus plant, the attacks, the heat leeches. The three of you have likely spared thousands of lives. But it now falls to the cabinet to ensure this can never happen again. As such, the cabinet will be securing the Lazarus plant on Londinian. All materials related to the plant will be classified to ensure no one else learns its true nature.
A sound decision, Madam President.
Madam President. Securing the plan is enough. It should be wiped out. What sort of measures will the UC be taking to protect the Lazarus Planet?
Well, luckily the natural hostility of Londinian makes keeping out trespassers relatively easy. But we'll ensure its growth is contained, that access to the plant is only permitted via highly regulated clearances, and that our troop presence on Londinian is increased.
Agreed, that's right, ma'am. I believe other factions should be involved in securing. Securing the plan's enough. It should be wiped out.
We're already discussing the elimination of one species, Captain. Explain to me why you wish to eliminate another.
I'm shocked you don't want to destroy it. Is the UC plan to keep this? Destroying it and asking to help proves the UC has no ill intentions. Hard for anyone to commit new attacks with the planet if we erase.
They are ultimately threatened as much as the United Colonies. To share what you know and what can be done to make us all safer can only foster good relations.
That is an idea with some merit to it. Decrease the likelihood of anything like this occurring again, and further relations between our two factions.
Two birds with a single stone. Very well. We'll include the collective in the removal process. Thank you for the suggestion, Captain. So then, to our final topic. The Cabinet has agreed to implement a plan that will deal with the Terramorph, and now also Heat Leech presence on human worlds. In fact, we've already begun enacting measures to check all UC ports and settlements for undiscovered nests. But we all understand this is only a partial solution. The project we're embarking on will be a long and difficult one. So our first step must be deciding how exactly this all will be handled.
Madam President, this microbe is clearly too much of a risk. The Aseles are the safer approach.
To someone with limited knowledge of biology, perhaps? The technology behind the microbe is solved science, Madam President. It isn't dangerous. Using it to wipe out the Terramorphs would be the quickest path to protecting humanity.
And fast results always lead to the best outcomes, don't they?
As you can see, there remains debate among the Cabinet. We were hoping your group might issue a recommendation. Major?
We've been having similar debates ourselves, but the Captain has yet to weigh in.
I see. Captain, I know this may not be your area of expertise, but we'd like to know your take on the matter.
It's the safest route. I still had question. Do we need anything? Shouldn't we be destroying be sufficient? They need to be wiped out as quickly. Deploying is the safest route, and that's my vote. Do we need to do anything? Shouldn't be destroying the Lazarus plant be sufficient?
I believe we have a responsibility to do something, yes. Heavens forbid, years from now, someone reopens the Pandora's box that Orle's discovered. It falls to us to enact every measure required to ensure that day never comes.
So yeah, just do everything. So it means one method to making sure they never turn into Terramorphs, but also get rid of them so they never have the chance to turn into Terramorphs. I would say deploying the Exhale is the safest, and that's my... let's see. How many questions is there?
Please, ask.
What exactly is doing all the work in the plane? Will other factions be allowed in the cleanup effort as well?
This won't work without them.
Exactly right, ma'am. The Interstellar Affairs Office has already begun reaching out to worlds throughout the settled systems, informing them of the risks we're all facing, and that the UC has a plan to prevent what happened on New Atlantis from happening elsewhere. Thus far, the response has been overwhelmingly positive. The spirit of mutual cooperation displayed between the UC and the Freestar Collective in managing the Terramorph data set a good tone for the work we're doing, Captain. We expect we'll hit some resistance, but our office has plenty of carrots and sticks to ensure the program's widespread success.
Alright, where are the chances really that the microbe could cause problems to humans and other species?
Infinitesimally low.
But not zero.
The chance of a starship landing on you as you sit here isn't zero, yet you still attended. Personally, my fear isn't mutation, but terramorphs developing a resistance. But that's something our group can continue to address if we decide to take this approach, as I believe we should.
What are the dangers of bringing back the Aseles?
I can feel this one. While intimidating creatures, certainly, Aseles are docile unless provoked. They're honestly closer to oversized mobile scanners than deadly predators. The concern is that, while all proposed methods will be long-term efforts, the Aseles are the slowest. Slow to breed, slow to deploy. We do everything we could to accelerate that process, including mustering some of our mothballed cloning technologies. But if we do elect to use this method, we'll be doing things at the pace of a megafauna, which is not an expedient one.
Alright, and what about who exactly, who is doing exactly all the work?
The responsibilities will be spread across multiple branches of the UC. Research and day-to-day administration will be handled by a new group under the Science Division. All diplomatic concerns and coordination will fall to Chief Yassine and Interstellar Affairs. But most of the actual on-the-ground work, that'll be handled by the Vanguard.
Alright, I don't have any more questions.
Very well. Then did you have a preference on the method we should deploy?
Terramorphs cause enough. Cause enough they need to be wiped out. I wish I could say both. Like, why can't we do both? Makes no sense why we can't. Like, putting out the microbe to kill them just in case, but then also doing the Aseles just so we have an extra species that can guard us if they ever do transform.
I'm in full agreement. No need be delving into unpredictable sciences.
The first step in a bold new future.
Bolder, better, and brighter. Well, I need to write that one down for later.
Order, please. And Major Sinan? Dr.
It's
Walker,
not even wild.
you'd find this acceptable?
We trust the captain's judgment.
Then the matter is settled. We'll begin the process immediately. Today marks day one for the United Colonies Terramorph Management Division, making you three the founding members of the TMD. Despite all your checkered histories with the Xeno-Warfare Unit or SysDef, the Cabinet still believes you all earned a display of gratitude for what you've done. Today, we will be adding 3 new Class 1 citizens to our ranks.
Class 1? For the 3 of us? Are you joking?
What he means to say is, thank you, ma'am.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, ma'am.
What's a Class 1 citizen?
It's a status reserved only for those who've dedicated their lives to the United Colonies, or done great things for its cause. Class 1s enjoy an ample credit disbursement, an additional reduction on the cost of colonial goods. And I'm told the penthouse is rather impressive.
Damn, so not even they have Class 1. Thank you, Madam President.
You all have earned it. Now, there's much to be done. Major Sinan, Dr. Walker, I hope you two are willing to continue your efforts, spearheading the TMD's research on Mars.
We'd be honored, ma'am.
And as a member of both the Vanguard and the TMD, I believe you, Captain, will have your pick of duties. Speak to your commander, Tuala, if I recall correctly. He should be able to provide you with assignments going forward, plus help you collect the benefits that come with being named Class 1. On behalf of the whole of the United Colonies, you have our sincerest gratitude. This meeting is adjourned.
God, was that really it for the climax? No way. Hold on. Because I did this in the other timeline, I kind of want to go rogue. Please. Oh, they're still alive. That they don't die. Damn.
I will not aid.
Yeah, damn. Man. I really wish the story was like you could turn on them.
I cannot, will not be a part
Okay,
of
those
not
three
to
died.
that.
God. It's like everyone's packing some heat. I cannot. And then she's still here. Madam President, get down. Bounty. Taking down the president.
This is hopeless. Come out.
Yeah, alright. I'm going back to the other timeline. Where's quick load? Imagine if I accidentally quick saved it again. Alright, we good. we good to leave. Damn. I really wish you could make the bad timeline where you could just turn on everyone and just kill them all. But yeah, no way, this is the end of the timeline, right? Also, I thought it was this guy. The guy that I talked to in the very beginning when I joined, but apparently not.
These are such a gift. Even your enemies might disagree.
Transit car, spaceport. Alright, so where the hell am I going? Revelation? Oh, yeah. Is it just completely over? Hold on, wait. I guess, yeah, it's just completely over. Damn, that ended like a wet fart. Huh. Alright, let's try and go see where Commander Tula. Okay, he's in the mass section, so it means it is the guy that I'm pretty sure is in the front desk. Let's go talk to him about being class 1. Give me some respect on my name. Yep, there he is.
Well, well, I've got to say, this is a first. I've never had a Class 1 citizen in my ranks before. Congratulations, Captain.
Thank you, Commander. It's an honor. Can you tell me about Class 1 citizen is?
It's a high honor. Have to do something big for the colonies to earn that sort of designation. Only ever met a couple myself, and certainly never given one orders. You should be real proud.
Just here. Thank you, Commander. It's an honor.
No need to thank me. You brought this on yourself. I've already gone ahead and processed your Class 1 benefits. All UC goods and services should now have a thanks for protecting the colonies discount. And the credits should be in your account now. But to get into your penthouse, you'll have to pay a visit to the Aphelion Realty office. They should be able to grant you access.
12,000. Not bad. Where's the...
Just out the front door and
office?
across the plaza, by the embassies. Look for the Aphelion sign.
The Aphelion. Rather drink Engine than live in New... But at least the price is right. Glad to see the UC gives credit where it's due. Yep.
Higher-ups wanted to make sure you know how much they appreciate what you've done. But with all that squared, it's time to get you a new assignment. There are your standard Vanguard missions, putting those pilot skills to use defending UC space. Or you could help the TMD in cleaning up terramorphs. Oh, and I got a request from Dr. Walker. Wanted your help collecting biological samples to keep an eye out for any, new alien threats on the horizon. Any of those missions call to you?
I've done my duty, Commander. I think I'm gonna take some time off from aliens.
Of course. You've earned some R&R. Once you're rested up and ready to head out there again, you come see me.
Alright. Well, I really wasn't expecting that to be the end of the UC storyline. I expected a lot more. Because I guess going to the Terramorph's homeworld was supposed to be the, like, climax of the story. But it really didn't feel like it. Because seeing the anomaly Terramorph, it didn't seem like anything, like, really happened that felt super different. Like, yeah, it was a little bit bigger than everything else, but really wasn't that scary fighting it. So that's the embassy, right? Trying to figure out which one's Midic's archives. Oh, here. I found it. Let's get into my apartment.
It's a buyer's market right now. Good time to make a move. Well, well, if it isn't the United Colony's newest Class 1 citizen, you've made quite a name for yourself in New Atlantis. In fact, the higher-ups want to thank you for your dedicated service by giving you one of the nicest pieces of real estate in the city. It's a premium penthouse at the top of Mercury Tower. Best location in New Atlantis, in my professional opinion. What do you say? It'll just take a second to get you registered as the owner.
I'm interested.
Great! You're in for a real treat. It's one of my favorite apartments in the city. Okay, you're all set. Your new home's located in Mercury Tower in the residential district. You'll love the place. It has a gorgeous floor plan and an unbeatable view of the city. Now that you're an owner, I'm sure I'll be seeing you around town.
Hell no, because there's literally nothing that I can't do in my ship that I can already do. But yeah, I think I want to go visit what's his name and see, like, what's his plans. Is he basically free now? Does he still have to do at least a few months of work before he's, like, fully free? Like, how does that work? Let's go talk to him and then we'll go to a residential district. Subsection 7. I am a class person, so you can just shut the fuck up and let a United Class 1 colony citizen do what he wants to do.
What's this? Just you then? No UC executioner. So the cabinet knows the truth about Orlays. Splendid. That means you and I can get to work.
Alright, how on earth did you manage to deploy the Lazarus plant on New Atlantis?
Once we'd cracked synthesizing the Lazarus plant's pollen, research that took years in and of itself, the attacks were exceedingly simple. Orlays' ship would land on our target, bearing a few heat leeches. Nothing that would raise suspicion. Then Lazarus pollen was pumped out of the ship during liftoff from the planet's surface. Shortly thereafter, an attack. A strike perpetrated in mere moments, with no one being the wiser.
Alright, I want to ask you during the outbreak, why not try to evacuate London? You know, why blow the spaceport?
We were in the middle of an all-out war, Captain. Committing ships to save the city would have left another undefended. Which city would you prefer I'd sacrificed? Sidonia? Gagarin? New Atlantis? And if anyone else had learned about the Lazarus plant, well, the risk was too great. I weighed the options and made the call.
Alright, if anyone is going to know this, it's you. Why did the UC lose the colony war?
I'll tell you why. Because the UC was, and is, full of people unwilling to pay the price required for victory. In the last days of the war, the UC was on the precipice of executing a final great assault on the Freestar Collective home system of Cheyenne. A massive strike, capable of obliterating Freestar Central Command and ending the conflict at long last.
I'm guessing it didn't go according to plan. Why wait so long? Why just knock their leadership out early and be done with
I
it?
thought I'd had myself. But such invasions are costly. In resources and lives. Others in the UC believed the blockade would be sufficient to bring the Freestar Collective to its knees. But they were wrong. So instead, they sacrificed far more lives in a protracted war, rather than doing the right thing from the start. And demolishing the Freestar capital when they have the chance.
Yeah, I like how I have to ask him to go on or just give him a smug comment.
You'd be right. Everything was in place. But just before we could launch the strike, word came from Londinian. The Terramorph outbreak had begun. I went to the city to assess the state of things, and discovered the Lazarus plan. We couldn't spare ships for a proper quarantine, so it was my decision to destroy the spaceport and seal off the city. Deal with it quickly, so we could get back to winning the war.
If you were able to get in, why couldn't you get the citizens of Londinian out?
I had a single ship. What would you have had me do? Ask them and the Terramorphs to form a line, and the UC fleet was spread thin already. No, I touched down, assessed the situation, made a decision, and returned to the task at hand.
Yeah, damn, that's pretty evil. Sacrifice one side to save others, I suppose I can see. Wouldn't want all those innocent lives distracting you to save from your galactic war.
You joke. But the scale we were working, that's precisely what it was. A distraction. And I dealt with it as such. Quickly. Definitively. The only reasonable solution. So upon my return from Londinian, we proceeded with our killing blow. Initially, we had great success against the mess the Freestar Collective called a Navy. But then the Freestar citizenry decided to get involved. Dozens of civilian ships jumping in to shield their military counterparts. I, of course, had no trouble firing on what should have been designated enemy vessels. But my peers had lost the stomach for it. So many lives lost already, they wailed. So the great UC Navy was routed by a mob. They picked our ships apart. The UC surrendered not long after. And thus rang the death knell for the great UC.
Bested by civilians, ironic considering the civilians you sacrificed. Sound like the only person you have to blame on the UC's defeat is yourself. Your planning seems sound, just a bad roll of the dice, I guess.
It's human nature to see patterns, even when there are none. What ended the colony war was cowardice. Nothing less.
Let's talk about the work you're offering.
Well, thanks to our combined efforts, the Sanan name has more clout with the cabinet than it has in years. I hope to build on that. I have a long list of names civilized society would be better without. I just need someone to help me remove them from the picture. Should we begin the hunt? Or did you have questions?
Actually, this was a mistake. Refresh my memory, what exactly would we be doing
Just
together?
making the settled systems a little safer. Arms dealers, rogue scientists, UC turncoats, war criminals from the colony war. Each poses a threat if left unchecked. I'd be directing you to them, and you'd be making the galaxy better for us all.
Am I going to be in trouble for helping you? I presume this isn't sanctioned by the UC?
The UC doesn't consider these threats worthy of action just yet. But by the time they do, it may well be too late. Which is why we'll be dealing with them before they can cause greater harm. As far as possible legal repercussions, I'll only be sending you to targets once they're away from the general populace. You may have to deal with some mercenaries or other general banditry, but no one's gonna shed a tear if a merchant of death or a chem peddler and their henchmen meet an early end. You won't be going after anyone that you see might miss. So you needn't fear in that regard.
Alright, let's get started.
Just what I was hoping to hear. There's a slate waiting for you in the transfer system.
In the transfer system. Here?
Those are the details for our first,
Yeah, he is not... He's not making this sound good on whoever he's sending me out to kill. But, let's check out the map. Let's go to the residential district. Where is it? Commercial, residential. Alright, so it's like Mercury something. Mercury Tower. Yep, there we go.
Things I would do if we had cover.
Definitely.
Okay, there's no one there. The penthouse, right? It just automatically takes me, right? There we go. Nice, I have a house. Ooh, nice bathroom. Hold on. Oh yeah, I was like, is it missing a toilet? Nope. Here's my gorgeous bedroom. Or at least the guest room, I don't know. Can open every door. Ah, another restroom. Okay, okay. Big fancy restroom. I don't like this. Like, this feels unsafe. If you step out of the bathroom and your feet are all slippery, and I feel like you could have a good chance of breaking your head on this. Like, I would have felt a little bit better with something else, probably. I don't know how that stuff is gonna be. Ooh, but this is gorgeous. Ooh, you can see the spaceport. You can see my ship all the way over there. I'm guessing that's the mast tower. Nice, nice. Yeah, that's the mast tower, and so the lodge I think is over there. Interesting, interesting. Okay, so a little closet where you can clean your clothes. I wonder, is this a dryer and a washer, or is that just a washer with no dryer? I'm guessing this is supposed to be a guest room or an office if I really want. And that's the main kitchen. What's this? A pantry? Yeah, I'm guessing this is supposed to be a pantry or at least a storage room. These look like shelves or stuff that you can get into, but I'm not entirely sure. I'm guessing this is supposed to be a storage closet, maybe a mini room if you want to turn it into that. And here you can check out the other area. Damn, this is the edge of the city. This city is so small. Oh my god. This is so dangerous. Oh my god. Girl. She's just jumping willy-nilly like that. Scares the shit out of me. But alright. Well, even though that was the anticlimactic end to the UC storyline, it was still a end. I honestly thought what's his name was gonna activate more bugs or whatever, so we would have to fight that. But I don't know if like he didn't activate them because, you know, it's like he was on our side, but if he wasn't on our side, he would have unleashed a bunch of terramorphs on this place, and then we would have to battle. And it'd be like, Victus is the one that caused this attack after we killed all the heat leeches. And considering he doesn't have anyone else working for him, there's no one else to, like, just set off the heat leeches and turn them into terramorphs. But alright, I think that's where I'll end it here for today. Yep, now that we're done with all the big storylines, as far as I know, there's nothing else for us to do. We may do some of Victus's missions, because those seem like they may be interesting, but we're mostly going to be focusing on the main storyline from now on and see how that ends. So I don't think we have that many parts. I think we're at like the 80% mark of like the entirety of the story, but I could be wrong, and there could be like another good 40% we still haven't done or something. I don't know. But it feels pretty close to the end. We have most of the artifacts, and we have gotten a good number of the powers, so I don't know. We'll have to see. But yeah, anyway, if you guys are enjoying Starfield, please make sure to follow me on all my social medias, like my Twitter, my Twitch, my YouTube, my DLive, my TikTok, my Kick, Rumble, Odyssey, and Dailymotion. Make sure to like and comment on all my videos, and even join my Discord. There you can stay up to date with everything I choose to do, or my streams, videos, or anything else. And I hope to see you guys next time. Bye.